evening and welcome to our Monday, March 6, 2017 edition of the Government News Brief. In the news this evening, Maternal Love Project on stream to eliminate maternal and child deaths. Female government ministers applaud the appointment of Chancellor of the Judiciary and Chief Justice acting, and the government is working to transition the labor market to better protect workers. These and other stories when the news returns. Stay tuned. Thank you for staying with us. I am Renetta LaFleur. Here are the details. The Maternal and Child Health Department is working on eliminating maternal and child deaths. It is set to launch the Maternal Love Project to achieve this goal. Details in this Delicia Haynes story.
Focus will be placed on Region 4, where 3 maternal deaths were recorded for the year 2016. It intends to target maternity cases by way of home-based care, says Government Medical Officer Dr. Patrick Lindor.
We are currently in relations with the RHO, the senior and maternal child health, working a program that we're about to launch in Soosdijk, which is also going to be a project. We have a name for it, it's called Maternal Love, where we, as a center, it's going to start in Soosdijk, and then after a year, we're going to roll it out to all other centers, and then eventually nationally if possible, where we're going to have a high focus on meeting families at home. And this isn't only going to focus on maternal child health, but it's going to focus on every aspect of health.
Dr. Lindor explains that there are a number of challenges affecting efficient maternal and child health care. These include patients being unable to access health care at centers and clinics due to their inability to fulfill appointments. The Maternal Love Project aims to reduce maternal deaths to zero, says Regional Health Officer, Region 4, Dr. Farah December.
When it comes to primary health care, in 2016, the total number of pregnant women that were enrolled into our antenatal clinic, 1,540. I'm saddened to say we had 3 maternal deaths in our region. 1 emanating from the Diamond Diagnostic Center, who was joined at the antenatal clinic at that facility, and 2 at other facilities on the East Bank. I think this is going to put us somewhere around at the 97th percentile. We don't like that.
The 3 maternal deaths recorded in the region were identified early as high-risk cases. Issues arose after the pregnant women were unable to attend clinic on a regular basis and the monitoring of their health became difficult. For the Government News Brief, Delicia Haynes.
The Education Ministry is to pilot Grade Maker initiative to assist in schools' improvement and monitoring. Neola Damon has more.
The initiative was revealed at a data analysis workshop which opened today. The project is aimed at helping students improve their classroom performance based on their individual needs. Chief Education Officer Marcel Hudson says that the Grade Maker workshop will provide empirical evidence to develop a strategic plan to improve the education delivery.
We don't want people to just come and sit and glean or get information and not allow that information to reach down into the classroom, because that is where ultimately we need knowledge and information and skills to be applied to the classroom, to be applied in the classroom so that our children will perform better, because we want to really build a new Guyana.
Ministry of Education's technical facilitator, Vincent Alexander, says that the Grade Maker is a great tool in the improvement of local education. However, he explains that education officers will also need to assess the social issues that affect the students.
Those of us who are involved have to ensure that we go beyond this moment of finalizing a tool and of gaining the knowledge of how to use the tool, to ensure that the tool, in fact, is integrated into our routine operations, so that at the level of the school itself, we know what is required of us to improve the delivery of education.
The data analysis workshop is a collaborative effort between the Ministry of Education, Department of Culture, Youth and Sports, and Grade Maker. The latter is a United Kingdom-based organization specializing in providing diagnostic feedback to school leaders to support improvement and training. The Data Analysis Workshop is a collaborative effort between the Ministry of Education, Department of Culture, Youth and Sports, and Grademaker. The latter is a United Kingdom-based organization specializing in providing diagnostic feedback to school leaders to support improvement and training. Neil Damon for Government News Brief.
Government ministers laud the appointment of 2 women to top posts in the judiciary. Zanil Williams tells us more.
Several female ministers of government welcomed the appointment of Justice Janet Cummings Edwards, who was appointed Chancellor of the Judiciary Acting, and Justice Roxanne George Wiltshire, Chief Justice Acting.
I'm really happy. As a woman, I am happy to see that women are stepping up to the plate. And for too long, the judiciary was being governed by male dominance, So with 2 female actually being promoted to the acting post at the same time really says a lot. So I know that they will make us women proud, and I just want to encourage other young women to emulate from us women, be it in the political environment, in the judiciary environment, So women are actually taking the rightful place in society.
The goal of the APNU AFC government is to ensure gender equality and women empowerment and propel women to occupy significant and decisive roles in the social, cultural, and economic sectors of Guyana. They are highly trained, professional, and competent individuals. The education of female gender, women and girls, is one of the best investments that a development country like ours can make in its future.
Meanwhile, Minister of Public Telecommunications, Cathy Hughes, says that it was a great day for Guyana to witness such appointments. She says it means that women are breaking barriers. Minister of Public Health, Valda Lawrence, says that the appointments are well deserved. The minister notes that she was elated that President David Granger values women and recognizes their contribution to the development of the country. Minister within the Ministry of Natural Resources, Simona Brooms, says she believes that the elevation of 2 female judges to these positions is a reflection of the determination of the administration to enrich the lives of and enhance the profiles of Guyanese women. The appointment of Justices Cummings Edwards and George Wiltshire to the highest judicial offices in Guyana marks the first time that women have been appointed to the head of the judiciary simultaneously. Justice Desiree Bernard was the first woman to serve in both capacities. Zanil Williams reporting for the Government News Brief.
The Ministry of Social Protection is partnering with the International Labour Organization, ILO, to transition Guyana's labor administration to better protect workers. Delon Sanko has the details.
Labour officers from various government agencies are benefiting from a 2-day workshop that is exploring ways and means of addressing the informalities in the labour force. Minister within the Ministry of Social Protection, Keith Scott, explains that transitioning from the informal to a formal economy is necessary to eliminate poverty and the lack of protection. Minister says this will contribute to attaining 8 of the 17 recommended Sustainable Development Goals.
The magnitude of the risks and hazards to which workers in the informal sector are exposed are so substantial that they pose a direct and indirect challenge to human development and the attainment of the good life, to which every citizen of the Cooperative Republic of Guyana is entitled.
An informal economy is a part of an economy that is neither taxed nor monitored by any form of government, while the formal economy is. Minister Scott explains that with an informal economy, all economic activities by workers and economic units in laws or in practice are insufficiently covered by formal agencies. This, he explains, must be stopped.
The informal economy is marked by acute decent work deficits, and workers face higher risk of poverty than those in the formal economy. Therefore, I'm inclined to surmise that this workshop should be tasked with determining what is being done or what could be done to remedy the decent work deficiencies which are engaged in the informalities.
Meanwhile, Minister of Social Protection Amna Ali says the prevalence of informal economies in Guyana has constantly been on the rise. Minister Ali notes most persons entering the informal economy not by choice, but out of needs to have access to basic income generating means and to sustain their livelihoods.
The informal economy thrives in the context of high unemployment, underemployment, poverty, gender inequality, and precarious work. It is also relatively easy to enter as there are sometimes no educational requirements, skills, or technology barriers.
Chief Labour Officer Charles Ogle adds that the workshop, which also targets workers in other departments, is expected to sensitize participants on the relationship between the Labour administration and the informal economy. Delon Sanko for the Government News Brief.
Several initiatives continue to unfold to beautify the Bartica Township. The latest initiative will enhance Golden Beach. More from Gabriela Patram.
Mayor of Bartica, Gifford Marshall, says the planned construction of a boulevard on the Golden Beach between 3rd and 4th Avenue, Bartica, will not only transform the area but the town as well. Once completed, the boulevard will encourage more persons to visit the town and invest, Marshall adds. The boulevard will see palm trees being planted and benches and solar-powered lights being installed. Mayor Gifford explains that 6 mini-marts will be erected with the anticipation that different franchises will occupy the spaces.
The intention is to attract some investors to the town, which will in turn, of course, create some amount of employment, and the council also will benefit financially from such a project.
Maintenance of the facility is a high priority for the mayor's office. Marshall says that a committee will be formed to ensure that the boulevard's standard is continually maintained.
All of our projects, especially the green spaces, will be monitored and managed by an oversight committee. So we don't want to create a boulevard, for example, and then you see garbage being dumped here, and after spending millions of dollars, the benches are broken and left, and cows come and occupy the space. So a committee will be put in place to manage this facility.
In keeping with the government's efforts to create a green economy, a number of ministries have realigned their focus. Under the Ministry of Communities, the Community Infrastructure Improvement Project SIP supports the sustainable transformation of communities that have been remodeled to reflect green initiatives. For the Government News Brief, Gabriela Patram.
This has been another edition of the Government News Brief. The details of these and other stories can be found on GNews website. We encourage you to subscribe to our website and YouTube channel. You can also like and follow us on Facebook to be updated as the news unfolds. Do join us again tomorrow for another edition of the Government News Brief. I am Renetta LaFleur. Thank you for watching.